Nobody move.
Nobody gets hurt.
I'm Nick G.
I'm Mike D.
And this is Good Cop, Bad Cop. I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Pop McCann Whiskey, smoothest drink in the land. Grab your bottle today at popsmcannwhiskey.com. Also like to thank Friends of Martina White. Visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina has been doing as state representative of Pennsylvania. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond Creative. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondocreative.com or call 267-362-WEB1 to discuss your project. And our title sponsor, AR Law, arjusticenow.com. We fight so you don't have to. Adams Renzi Law. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Morrow Flooring, hardwood, laminate, vinyl, tile, and carpet. You get military and first responders discount. That is Morrow Flooring. You can go to goodcopbadcoppodcast.com, click on his link for more details. All right, and we're back. So here's the map of the attempted assassination at the shooting site in Butler, PA. As you can see here, it doesn't take a degree in dignitary protection, or you have to be on the Secret Service to understand that, lines of sight, how much of a colossal mess this was and failure. Yes.
Oh my God. I've seen pictures of this, but this seems even worse now as I'm looking at it this time.
So this is one of the reasons why I want to show this.
You know
map.
why? I think they were showing me through the trees, pictures through the trees.
You've been seeing a lot from the ground, so this gives you a really good bird's eye view of just how much of a failure the Secret Service was at trying to keep the former president safe here. If you look back at that Witter Tower, I mean, you can take a kid that plays Call of Duty for several months and bring him here and say, hey, listen, we have to do some dignitary protection. What do you think? And he would do a better job than Secret Service would. The Witter Tower alone, no one was stationed on. That's the Overwatch. You could pretty much see every building, at the top of every roof. It doesn't take a degree in this to figure out someone should have been posted there.
Common sense, you go from the podium where you're speaking about and you take binoculars and you go all the way 360.
Sure.
And you start seeing where are the spots that you need to cover, right?
Did you ever do any of this yourself type of protection?
I did. I did work with DSS, Department of under the State Department, and with the UN details. I don't know if you did any UN detail work.
In Manhattan. I've been on UN details in Manhattan, but I was the uniform guy in the crowd,
Oh, I got you. No, I was actually with the protectee in the vehicles, follow or backup or in the limo, going inside the locations, and that's the diamond protection, all that, where either the if it was Saudis, Russians.
So I have to answer this question, and this is something that dawned on me. Is there communication with? So when I would do a detail in Manhattan, let's say president at the time, it was Reagan, would come into town, right? And was it Reagan first? I know it was Reagan, but yeah, Reagan would come into town, and we'd be doing the street, whatever. But we were always aware because we'd run into Secret Service, right, quite often, and they would tell us that they got the buildings, they got snipers in the buildings on Fifth Avenue, normally Fifth Avenue or something like that, and I think one time was by the UN. So, like, I would like, well, where are they? Well, and they would point them out. One's up there, one's up there, one's over there, and you'd see they were actually at the window, on ready with their scopes and whatever the hell else they used up there.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to be on top of the building. They were sometimes, because 180 stories up, you don't need to be there. You probably can't shoot someone down the street 80 stories low, unless you're on the roof going like this, looking for them. Right? You probably couldn't shoot them. No. But somebody from mid range could have it. But that's how they knew, even then. Yeah. So, but my question was this. If you did protectee specifically on the human, right? You would be on the human?
Yes.
Would you have direct communication with a sniper team?
Not me. I imagine the team leader, I would imagine.
So if you got the protectee, and how are you going to get the message? That's what I want to know. How are you getting the message?
And with some of these people, they don't get sniper. What I've noticed is only really, you're doing with the foreign minister of, let's say, Russia or wherever.
Okay.
You're not going to get that kind of protection. You're going to get us moving around with the
Body
locals.
protection.
Yeah, exactly. To
Okay.
the UN and back and to wherever other spots you're going to. But you're doing with the president, that's a whole different
Yeah.
level.
The highest threat assessment against anybody would be Donald Trump.
Okay, so I had to when I first hear something, I immediately go into police officer role in my head. The next thing I do is I come back and I start to become an investigator, right? Because police officers handle a situation to nullify whatever's going on. Investigators come in and try to figure out what's going on, what went wrong. And then an administrator wants to know who's screwing up, right? There's different levels on how to protect these people.
Yeah.
So when I looked at this and I was listening to a hearing or something, and the guy who replaced the woman that got fired, Rowe,
Yeah.
he gets up there and promises this and promises that, and we will get to the bottom of this. And meanwhile, he denied, not him. See, he's not even saying it was him, but it had to be.
No, he's the top of the food chain.
How much?
Rowe
If
is
someone
involved.
offers me drone protection,
Yeah.
who's denying that? The local field agent? I don't think so. He's going to call his boss and say, listen, we got somebody who's offering drone protection. We don't really feel we need it, but I better ask. So someone in that office denied this stuff. Now, The next question is this. You're talking about a guy who's one of the most high-profile ex-presidents to ever exist.
That's right.
Highest threat
He's higher
assessment
than
against him.
Obama, profile-wise.
Yep,
All right,
yep.
everybody knows Obama, who he was, and they see him. But profile-wise, of course, Obama probably has a sniper 24/7 around him, right? Why did he not have a sniper? This is the first event that there was a sniper assigned from Secret Service? I'm blown away.
No, there was no Secret Service snipers, I believe. They were locals, the sniper teams. The counter surveillance
No, they
snipers, I believe, is locals.
No,
They're
they were
not-
Secret Service.
I thought it was Secret Service.
They
Yeah,
took
it
the
was Secret
shot,
Service.
yeah.
The guy who shot Crooksville, I think, was Secret Service.
Yeah, Secret Service.
Okay, because the guys behind Trump in that famous picture now, the two with the spotter, were not Secret Service.
Yeah.
They were local.
Yeah, but there was.
So let me. So
My
Rowe,
point is,
yeah.
there was no Secret Service spotter team ever assigned till that day.
Yeah.
And it's the first time CNN carried his thing alive. Now I'm not getting out in the woods with this, but could you imagine the
So here's a scenario.
Could you imagine?
And what an image after Trump was shot. What do you think of some of those female Secret Service agents?
Oh,
You think
God.
they're up to snuff?
Again, were they Secret Service or Department of Homeland Security officers?
They look like Secret Service.
Because we don't. I know most of this team were Department of Homeland Security.
I heard they were Secret Service, but I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, and that's the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of them couldn't even holster her
They
gun.
couldn't holster their guns. I mean,
Hey, how about the one who couldn't holster her weapon
I know.
back?
Oh God, it's
it was.
bad.
But listen. We can laugh. We all, we're all cops. We know how to put a gun away, okay? Because I probably took mine out 100 times a day, and that's no exaggeration. On patrol in East New York, that gun was coming
was
out
that
of your
for good or
holster.
bad?
It was coming. Well, I've used it for everything. It did have a profit
Right.
motive at times, but that gun was. You see how I grabbed my gun? You see, your thumb. You use it. We used because we didn't have semi-automatics. I had a revolver.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Old school. I had a revolver, but you had to use your thumb to release There's a latch inside your swivel holster, and it's not a latch. It's a hook. It's like the edge of a table. That's what keeps it in your holsters, like the edge of the table, right? But no one can take it out unless they get their thumb in there just to move. To make the room for it to come out. So I would go into my gun and my holster. It was like butter. It was so easy. for me.
Smooth, very smooth.
It was. It would come in and out like it was like this is what it did, because that's what it did all day long. My point is, I still have the same motion to where it would be right now.
Yep.
That girl didn't know where her holster would be.
No, she didn't.
No,
She
it
didn't.
was like the first time she ever had
But
it on.
listen,
Yeah.
they did dive into fire. I won't take that away from
At least they did, but she never got to that point. I think that's awful. And I love what Trump did after he got shot. He got up, he put his fist up like that, right? That iconic picture that I think 100 years from now.
You don't have the shirt?
It's ordered.
My son came. My two sons came to the barbecue.
Here it is.
My two sons came to the barbecue, and they said he had. Now they're showing pictures where he had like the blood planted.
Yeah.
I mean, are you people serious. The show, he might have had a piece of glass in his hand.
no. Yeah, okay.
I mean, come
No,
on.
not,
He got
not at all.
shot. You could even see in real time the bullet rip through his ear. Some of the shots, and this right here is the most iconic photo
From
of our lifetime. This and 9/11. The planes going into the tower.
And Hiroshima.
Hey, what do you think Biden would have done? You think he would just cried and
Oh
pissed
my
his pants?
God! I don't think he would have known what was going on.
No, they would have to remind him.
Yeah, he wouldn't have even known what happened. He'd be looking around. So this guy Rowe, to put it in perspective for you, the buck stops with him. Really, Cheeto was a joke. So it would be almost like, would Mike Dowd have gone to prison if Mike Dowd was the investigator of his own crimes?
Absolutely not.
No, exactly. So that's what Mike Rowe is being tasked with, investigating himself and his office.
Right.
Which there needs to be an independent investigation.
OIG needs to be involved in that.
Yes,
time.
and
DHS,
when Trump comes into office,
OIG.
Mike, what's his name? He investigated you know how he got his name? The guy who was even Inspector General, Mike. Jesus Christ, his last name slips me. A Jewish fella. He got his start on the Mullen Commission investigation into the corruption of East New York, which was us, me.
Yeah.
In fact, he invited me to. I don't know if you know this. He invited me to speak in D.C. in front of his Inspector General's office.
Oh, wow.
I was in a symposium at the Inspector General's office, and I really didn't know him. I just knew of him, and I didn't know anything about him. And he comes up, he shakes my hand, and he says to me, thanks to you, again, right? Thanks to you, I'm here today in this Inspector General's office. I said, really? He goes, yeah. He says, I prosecuted the Dirty 30, which was the 30th, which was the outgrowth. So what people don't know, and maybe our audience would know by now, but whatever. I testified before the Mullen Commission about my corrupt activity. And one of the things that we decided in that whole process was that I would teach them how to catch me. I'm not going to tell on people. I'm not going to rat on people. I'm not going to testify against anybody. But this is what I can do. I can tell you how to catch me. From that, they got the whole 30.
They copied. Yeah.
The whole 30th precinct. They got the whole midnight shift. 34 people they got, right?
34, wow.
34 cops in the precinct, which is the whole midnight shift. They took them all down, right? And they did that day 2. So I testified on day 1. Day 2, they busted because they wanted to have a precedent, right? They wanted to have someone speaking about it, and then they went out that night and arrested the whole 30th precinct. The next day, all over the newspaper, Mullen Commission and whoever, the feds arrest the 30th precinct. And there's Commissioner Bratton doing a whole big, photo op, taking all their badges from them, the whole thing, right?
Wow.
And I don't know who's prosecuted, but it was Mike. And I'm forgetting his last name, but I would know it in a second. The Inspector General for the United States, DOJ Inspector General.
Okay. OIG.
So when I met him, he told me the story. He says, thanks to you, I'm here today. And he explained to me why. And it was about how he prosecuted the whole thing. So
Horowitz.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mike Horowitz. So it has a way, life has a way of putting things together in an odd type of way.
I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Martina White. Friends of Martina White can visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina's been doing as a state representative in Pennsylvania. And let me tell you, Mike, she's a big supporter of police. She backs the blue. She's a proven fighter for families, women, everybody.
Is she a patriot? Is she America first?
Absolutely. She encompasses, the American spirit for sure. We have a big population of listeners in Northeast Philadelphia, Southeast Pennsylvania, which would be her area. So you can check her out.
Has she been in? I'm not familiar with the Philly district. Is she new to the scene, or is she looking for re-election?
She'll be up for re-election in a couple years, but she's been around for a while. She has a proven track record.
Okay.
You can check her out. Her record really speaks for itself, especially when it comes to fighting for everyday citizens and backing the blue.
It's nice to have someone back in the blue. I mean, the officers are out there risking their lives every day, and with little pay and little appreciation in today's environment, it's been very difficult. And as you know, being a Philadelphia guy,
unfortunately, it's something that's not common. Should be. It used to be a time where both sides of the aisle agreed on law enforcement, and that's something that's completely lacking. But with Martina White, she steps up to the plate, always has our backs, and does what's right.
Great. Good luck with Martina.
Yeah, you can get more information at votemartina.com. I'd like to thank our title sponsor of the show, Adams Renzi Law, AR Law. They can be found at arjusticenow.com. And just to let you know, I know both of them personally. Christy, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, total sweetheart, absolute pit bull in the courtroom. And Nick Renzi, he's a South Philadelphia guy, true and true, neighborhood man. He's for the people. He helps people out down in South Philly, all around Philadelphia.
Their office is in South Philly itself?
Yes, their office is in right around South Philly, Center City, right on the border.
Do they handle
there.
a lot of criminal cases?
They handle everything, absolutely.
Are they on call 24/7 for someone who might take a pinch somewhere?
Why, you might be taking
Well,
a pinch
I mean, you never know. I mean, wherever you show up, you got to be ready.
Well, you can keep their card on you.
Well,
Go to their
well,
website and
good.
call them up.
Will they give me a deal since they're sponsors of the show?
You might get a percentage off. I'll have to talk to her.
Okay. Yeah.
If you used them a few years ago, you might have not have gotten 14 years.
Well, that's another story.
Another story for another time.
That's right.
Again, AR Law, check them out. arjusticenow.com.
We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond.0. In today's world, your business is practically invisible if you're not online. With so many options for marketing your business, it's easy to get confused. That's where Beyond.0 Creative steps in. They have the expertise to help you with all of your marketing needs. Need a website that wows visitors? They'll build it. Want to reach more customers with Google Ads? They'll make it happen. They'll even manage your social media so you can focus on what you do best. Beyond.0 Creative is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and Google Premier Partner. They're the real deal. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondocreative.com. That's BIONDOCREATIVE.com or call 267-362-WEB1, Web 1, to discuss your project now.
I'd like to thank our sponsor, Morrow Flooring, hardwood, laminate, vinyl, tile, and carpet, military first responder discount. Tommy, we had him as a guest on a podcast. You can get your flooring done by a real American hero.
Yeah, and he's on time and on budget.
Yes, he is. He will beat any price. Bring a quote, an estimate, whatever you have. Tommy will beat it, 100% guaranteed. You have our backing on that one.
And he'll be there himself.
Absolutely. You can get a real American hero do your flooring for you. So, let's be serious here. This is only going to happen if Trump gets elected. He'll...
What part?
A real investigation.
Oh, yeah.
The Democrats are absolutely terrified of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think Trump learned from his first go-around how to play the game, who he can trust, who he can't trust.
Oh, yeah. That's why they're scared more. That's why they're scared.
To drain the swamp really didn't get drained. And he trusted a lot of people he should not have trusted and left a lot of people in place. I think he understands now how much damage Obama did through his 8 years of implementing all
Obama
those
set the whole thing up. He set the whole thing up.
He did a lot of damage to the military.
The military, the EPA, the IRS, the DOJ. He weaponized them all, and he put the players in place, these bureaucrats that are not elected, and they're in place now. And it's just the socialist haven, and it needs to be rooted out, and they're terrified of what's going to happen. These investigations need to take place. If Kamala Harris and her radical vice president Walls gets elected. I don't see how we survive.
She's an absolute cackling Kamala Harris. You watch some of her videos, man. She is just cackling, and she's awful. She doesn't realize some of the awful things she says. You remember a thing about the famous coconut tree?
Yes,
like
I
the
just
coconut
listened to it
tree.
yesterday.
You fall out of coconut.
And coconut, and then it's going to the DMZ in the Korean Peninsula, saying that North Korea is one of our greatest allies. Say no, it is South Korea. Kim Jong-un, she really stepped all over it. She was a mess. She's a mess.
And I don't like saying these people are stupid or dumb, because most of them are not.
Yeah.
We might not like them.
Right.
She's pretty damn stupid.
She's a bit,
she's dense.
Yeah, so
she has some issues.
I'm taking a little stock in her, like lately, and all of a sudden we're paying attention to her, right? Because really, before when Joe was running it, we knew it wasn't Joe, but we knew she was, because they hated each other. She was put on like the side back burner, and you didn't have to deal with her. Now that she's being put out front, we have to reassess who she is and what she's about.
She's bad.
And she cannot, and we have fun here, right? We have a lot of laughs. This is what we do, right?
Sure.
She cannot do this.
No.
She could never have a conversation with someone because the main thing she's concerned about is not offending somebody. If you ever notice,
Woke. She's all about wokeism.
she's so woke that
She's
she
woke.
can't even say hello without saying, and my pronouns are he and her.
Yeah.
You know, what
I'm wearing a blue dress. I'm a woman wearing a blue dress.
Yeah,
That was like, oh my God.
You can't have a conversation in this world if you have to worry about being so PC or woke. And Trump was trying to bring us back to that. Listen, and it's not just Trump. It's the people that support that ideology.
Yeah.
And I hate to use this term because it's not racist. It's red-blooded Americans. That includes Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Italians, African Americans, Black, Chinese. The people that are born and raised here or who immigrate here lawfully and follow our laws and rules, they're
important.
Americans. They want to be part of. They want to be part of this experiment.
I agree.
Look what's going on in Europe right now. They're at fucking war.
Yeah.
In each individual country, UK, France, Germany, they're at war. Spain, they're at war with each other from within.
Yeah, it's what happened. It's an invasion. It's happening here.
We don't have that because we didn't have we were allowed to disagree about politics.
Yes, that's good. And
never-
the extremists are bad. Exactly.
I never knew who you voted for and didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
My guy won or my guy lost. Or my gal, whatever you want to say. Today, I don't want to talk to one of my brothers. I got 5 brothers. We don't talk to him anymore.
Yeah.
Because his wife's a CUNT. I'm only kidding. She's a wonderful. I love her, but
Still.
she twisted him.
Yeah, it's you try with family to agree to disagree. How about that? Agree to disagree. There's a lot of politics. People say a lot of things, but I just came back from Europe. That's funny you said that. I came back and I was in Spain. My family, we just left before the Olympics in Paris because I knew there was something was going to happen, and we left a few days before the Olympics started. I'm glad we did. It was like a lockdown. Paris looked locked down, military state, and look at it, even with all the police protection. The day of the opening ceremonies, they still had an attack where they had a sabotage on the train system. So you were shut down there.
Invasion.
That's unbelievable. But I wasn't part of that cluster. Even when we were there, we went to Versailles. There was a knife attack in Versailles at the palace, and they had to shut it down. You had the SWAT teams coming out everywhere, and I was like, wow, what is going on here? So there's a lot of craziness. But the socialists have been hit hard. Spain in the second round, Macron, they've been hitting the conservatives have been hitting hard back, and they've been feeling it. What's going back out there with them? So
yeah,
it's a nice place to visit. I recommend if you like going. It's cheaper to go to southern Spain than southern France.
I heard yesterday. I heard that 2 days ago. I had a conversation with someone about that 2 days ago.
Yeah. Malaga, Marbella, the Andalusia region. I 100% recommend it. Barcelona was a little overcrowded. We spent some time in Barcelona, but still have a chance. Go see Montserrat, where the Benedictine monks have been there for 1,000 years. You have the Basilica there in the Pyrenees Mountains. It is breathtaking, and you can see the Black Madonna. The Black Madonna that's there in the Basilica, and that's the same place where, a quick story here, Adolf Hitler, during the Second World War, sent Himmler, the head of the SS, to go to Montserrat, to the Basilica, with the monks to look for the Holy Grail. They believed the Holy Grail was there. It's documented. They shook down the monks in search of the whole, of Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, just like that. They were shaking down the monks for the whole. They believed in that, even though they're atheists, the mystical powers that came out of those mountains.
Well, have you heard the new theory? What the Holy Grail, the Ark, is supposed to be? It's a generator for the pyramids.
Interesting.
It's a new one.
One of the new theories is that it makes sense. If you touch it, you get sick and die. It's supposed to be a nuclear reactor to the pyramids. It's one of the new theories, and who the hell knows?
I listen to them all now. I used to think everything was crazy.
Yeah.
Now I've got alien sightings. I've got the Earth is not flat yet because I've been on the water. Okay, I don't want to hear about flat Earth bullshit. Okay,
I've
been on the water and it does crest. Okay,
do you think we were in the moon?
No. Have you watched that footage? Oh my God! I went back and watched it. It looks like they had that little thing on a string and just pulled it up, and then you can see the camera pan with it. Well, who's manning the camera?
Well, Dr. Greer says that we were on the moon, and Dr. Greer is an alien guy, right?
Yeah. Well.
And he says the thing is there were 4 spaceships waiting for them when they got there.
Yeah.
Did you hear that one?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I have.
And they came back like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just saying that's someone else's take.
Let's see when we go to Mars, what we find in Mars, huh?
Yeah, right? I don't know. Listen, I think what's his name? Elon's really he's really changed this world.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, because now I'm learning a lot. Again, I'm 60 something now. I'm starting to learn that we've had this technology forever.
Oh yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Like GPS, we've had since the 70s and 80s.
No, I'm talking back when what's his name
AI?
died in the hotel in Manhattan, Tesla.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and he knew about it.
Free energy.
But he didn't get it from himself. He got it from someplace else. That information.
Yeah, he used to say he was contacted through his dreams and that's where he got
Whatever
his
it was.
Yep.
And now I'm hearing that there's more energy in the bottom of this cup that they can boil every ocean on the planet.
I hear that. Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They've been saying there's so much energy in our air. If we learn how to harness it,
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah.
everything's free. Everything is free. Like, and that
You
would
might want to
that
stop
would-
talking. You're gonna get it
that-
shut
well,
down.
I don't care. Come get me.
We're gonna end our
listen, I'm
podcast.
willing to be an example because I figure, but what am I gonna do? I can't. I'm not getting late. No. So it's 63 years old. I might as well make a mark. I already
good.
made one.
Good.
in
You
my
get some
thir-
free energy.
I
Let
made
me
one
know.
in my
You sure did.
30s.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
made one in my 30s. I changed the PD
You sure
and the
did.
whole way they looked at this subject matter. Not that I wanted to be the guinea pig then. However, that might have been a slight to say that. But today I'm willing to I'll hold the noose. I'll hold the noose. How's that?
So, get back on topic a little bit. I am
Sorry.
I am happy today with the news, and people listening to this podcast will probably get this 10 days from now. But I am happy with the news. Tim Walz, God forbid she would have picked Shapiro. I think Trump would have been
In trouble.
would have been behind and in a lot of trouble, especially in Pennsylvania, the swing state. Again, it goes to show you the hatred that Democrats have towards the Jews.
Yeah.
Shapiro to get in because
Well, that would have caused
the
a riot.
Palestine-
That would have
yeah.
caused a riot.
Oh, absolutely. They were gearing up for
Michigan.
it.
We're here in D.C. When it happened here in the Union Station, when Kamala Harris refused to attend, when Bibi Netanyahu was addressing Congress, she refused to attend. She didn't go. Her husband is Jewish American, by the way, and you heard the scandal. He had an affair with his first wife, with the nanny, right, and got her pregnant, right? That's
This is what's coming out then.
Yeah.
They said there's something ready to come out.
Yeah.
that came out. He got her pregnant, right? The nanny. He's having an affair. He's Jewish, and she refused to go to listen to Bibi Netanyahu. All the pressure. You need to do a ceasefire. And you know what? I'm glad. 2 days later, they killed the head of Hamas. And before that, also in Hezbollah. And Hezbollah.
I love it.
Back to back.
Yeah.
I love it.
To back.
I love it.
It just goes to show you that how again.
And I'm not for indiscriminate killings and nothing like that.
No, that's
when you send your crew into my country and you kill my kids, all bets are off. How could you ask me to? I can't restrain myself if you yell at my kid. Never mind, you kill my neighborhood.
Yeah.
You
put them.
Take it easy.
And you put them in microwaves. Hey, you put them in ovens and microwaves.
Yeah. And cut the kids up.
No, it's awful.
But, it just goes to show you, her lack of either she's pretty damn stupid or naive when it comes to politics. But Josh Shapiro would have been a
better pick
adversary, and it gave Trump might have lost. Pennsylvania is going to be.
She was worried about Michigan. I think she knows with all the Palestinians, they lose Michigan if she puts Shapiro on the base. And then you had Mike Kelly again. I was worried about.
He would have better like him, but he had some issues with China. Apparently, he had some investments with China, and again, he couldn't keep it in his pants at some affairs. So they're worried about that.
Little Irish Mickey, he couldn't. Oh my God!
So it's his wife was the congresswoman that almost was killed, right?
So again, sympathy story. He was there for her when that happened.
Right.
Again, she picked probably the best candidate for us. As Tim Walz is
maybe she does care about America and wants to lose. I mean, she knows what they're doing is destroying it. It's just clear as a day.
Look at the videos from Tim Walz as governor during the George Floyd riots.
Oh, terrible!
Don't mention that. You got in trouble for that.
He pretty much let Minneapolis burn. Let it burn to the ground and did not call the National Guard. Didn't do the right thing. So agents were out there doing their job and going out there and doing it.
He did this. He pulled the cops out of the 3rd precinct.
Yeah.
He gave the
Gave them
building.
the
Gave it up. They
So
gave
let
it
me,
up.
tell you, I heard on the way in here today, 77, once again, famous talk
Stop plugging them.
radio station. The one of the Curtis Lewa says the girl, his daughter, tweeted out that day of when they burnt Minneapolis down, when they were burning the town down, the city down. She tweeted out that day, "Don't worry, you can riot tonight. My father's not sending the National Guard," and his daughter put it out on Twitter.
Wow.
That's awful.
Wow.
That's awful.
So this is all cannon fodder for Trump. He really needs to make a lot of noise and go after this guy Walz and keep the pressure on Kamala. You know, forget about.
I hear they're all asking about what I've got on my
clothes off?
shirt. All right.
7-5.
Just keep your clothes on, please.
And Mike, I also heard that it also after the commission, it was also 7-6 and 101 went down too heavy, right? The precincts?
7-6? No.
No, 7-7.
7-7 was prior.
Yeah.
The 7-3 went down. The 7-9 went down. The 8-1 went down. The 8-3 went down. The 4-2 went down. The 4-4 went down.
Wow.
You go down the list. Now, but people don't hear about it. But they did. They all got.
Yeah.
There was probably 150 guys arrested in the next year and a half.
150. Wow, that's
Yeah.
good. That's big.
And people don't know this, and I've said it once or twice before. Eric Adams' crew was involved in
Yeah, because he was a cop.
in a drug operation. His whole crew, all the top echelon in the NYPD.
Yeah.
One guy just was a Suffolk County Police chief or commissioner.
So are you saying that
Robinson?
the mayor, Eric Adams, was involved in illicit activities when he was a police officer?
He was supporting the guys that were.
Okay.
I don't know that he had his hand direct. I'm not going to go.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
What happened was I don't know if people know this that are listening. He separated the police department back then. Divider in chief. He started, of course, they had the PBA, right? Everybody knows who the NYPD PBA was. It was the biggest police organization in the world at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the police union.
Police union,
listeners
right.
know.
At the time I was there, Phil Caruso was in charge. He was like the mafia. He just ran everything, right? He ran the city. He ran the fucking city. And whatever you wanted to do, you had to talk to Phil Caruso, okay? Eric Adams, smart guy. You got to admit, he's smart. He may be stupid, but he's smart. He decides he's going to racialize the police department. He said 100 blacks in law enforcement got together. So they got together. There was a club of black guys, and like they have Spanish clubs and black clubs and Irish clubs. They started as black thing, but he made it their political wing now in the police department.
Oh, wow.
So so we're not a member of the PBA. We're a member of I think they called it the Guardians Association back then. And he became the head of the Guardians Association to divide the police department. And it started to send a fissure through the ranks because when you're cops, and you know this, we don't give a fuck what you look like. Yeah. You're wearing a uniform. You're with us. You're on our team. We're on your team. And they began to divide the police department in like 1986 or 1987. Yeah. And that's how it starts. And he's the outgrowth of it. You know, he worked his way up, I guess, to captain. He probably failed a few tests, and they promoted him to captain because that's what they were doing.
Yeah, he's just an awful mayor, what I see.
He's not good. Mayor. Well, you know, one of his sayings in the police department is, "I trust you with my life, but not my wife." That's true. It's true. Well, yeah, you know, color, we were all blue.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something I truly believe in, and I know, you know, a lot of partners of different races and ethnicities and religions. Yeah. And you know, we were all blue, and we kept each other safe.
Yeah.
And you know, to provide that, you know, make that fissure, it's not good. And you can see it's the way he's governing, or you know, right now as mayor, he's doing the same damn thing.
Well, let's see if it gets indicted by the FBI, DOJ. See. For campaign fraud management, all that's going on. It's pretty serious stuff. He's worried about it. He is definitely worried about it. You have one of his insiders, I heard, that was being interviewed by the feds in this investigation. So we'll see what
Oh, yeah?
this leads to.
Well, hold that thought.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, hold that thought. Ignacio, it's been great. We will definitely have you back
We
soon.
love you.
Oh yeah,
Thanks.
I love it. Love
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Thank you. It's great.
Thank you
Definitely
guys.
be one of our regulars.
Yeah, 80 books, right? Where do we?
Amazon.
On Amazon. 80
Amazon.
books on Amazon.
It-
Spell
it-
your last name for our audience.
Yeah, Esteban, Esteban, Ignacio
Esteban.
Esteban there. And you also read my stuff on Medium, podcast. Go check me out everywhere you want. Type my name on Google or YouTube, and I have over 400 shows. Check it out. I love being a guest, and I'd love to go back. We can talk politics all day,
I love it.
Great.
and hopefully we can do it more. I love it,
Great.
guys.
What's the over-under on the books when we have him back as a guest? 95? It'll be
Well, yeah,
95?
yeah. Put your money on it. Put
Yeah.
your money on it.
I've already done over 30 articles in 2.5 weeks.
Nice. Wow. All right, so we're going to hold that to you.
Hi guys.
Thank you much, and we'll put your stuff in the show notes.
Thank you, man. All right, guys.
Thanks, Ignacio.
Take care.
Appreciate you.
This episode is sponsored by AR Law, PA State Rep Martina White, Biondo Creative, Morrow Flooring, and Pops McCann Whiskey.